Hi everyone, it's Linda G and it's Sunday. I think what's the date? Is it the 13th? No, the 12th. It's the 12th of April. Geez, time is flying. So tomorrow is 1 week since Lulu was put down. And I had a dream a couple of nights ago that I'd gotten a job in a big company. And I remember thinking, why did I get a job? And I'm walking down the corridor and I see a beautiful Labradoodle that looked just like Lulu. But in the dream, I'm knowing it can't be Lulu because I'm saying in my head, no, Lulu just died. But this baby looks just like her. This is all, looks like somebody took a matchstick to it. Um, and I picked up the puppy and I squeezed it and held it and loved it. It was it was really Lulu. But so I'm telling the people around me, whose dog is this? I was finding out it was the company dog. Like everybody in the company were in charge of the dog. But I just said, I got to have this dog. And I had my checkbook and I said, what do you want for it? What do you want for this dog? I will pay whatever you want. I was so in love with that dog. But that was Lulu. And I had the same dream when my other dog, Moochie, died. It was within a week, and he was sitting down just like when he was a puppy. I picked him up. I could smell him. I could feel his fur. I said, oh, Moochie, I miss you so much. You know, you look wonderful. And then I realized in the dream, oh my God, you're dead. But then on his collar, there wasn't a collar, there was a pink ribbon. And I thought in the dream, why do you have pink on? You're a boy. And then, I got Lulu right after that. So anyway, so that was quite. The only thing is Lulu, there was no acknowledgement that was Lulu. It was a dog that looked exactly like Lulu, but it was Lulu. Okay, so there's a lot of chatter going on about Sawwell. I will be hooking up with Andre, I think he said about 3 o'clock, for the astrological aspects. According to him, of what I've gotten so far is it doesn't look good. But there's something fishy about this that I don't like. Now, apparently, Mel and I did a show and someone made a real rude comment to him. Like, oh, well, you just don't want to vote for Sawwell, or for so-and-so. Or it was some sort of comment, but Mel's in Chicago. He would have nothing to do with Sawwell. But he has a bad feeling. Like it's just, when you put Roger Stone's hands on it, when you see that Katie gal arm in arm with one of the women that filed charges, you think something's not right. Somebody posted a picture on, I think it was X or Twitter. It looks like Sawwell because he got them nerdy clothes and those nerdy shoes on a bed with a couple other people kissing a woman. Okay? But you could see the other person's shoes, so there were several people on the bed. Whoever took the picture was probably across from them. It definitely looked like a hotel room. And maybe, I didn't see any cups with wine or beer, but it wasn't like proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Because if this woman was assaulted, why is she kissing him in front of everybody? And the other thing is, we got to get all the facts. They're just throwing it out there like this is a done deal, and we're not getting any of the facts. Apparently, Sawwell's attorney said, what's interesting is that these women that are making these claims are the same women that he has proof have reached out to him, congratulated him on running for president, asking him for referrals for jobs. So, something doesn't seem right. And I don't want us to jump the gun like we do for everyone else. It's only the Democrats. In the meantime, you got that guy who harassed a woman so hard that she ended up committing, Harry Carey. So I want a full investigation. I want them to be proof beyond a reasonable doubt. And I will be very upset if they ruin this man's career when they were all just partying, playing, spin the bottle. You know, we got to make sure, you guys, don't just up and say, well, yeah. And then you got all the bots on these social medias that, oh, well, he's guilty, he's guilty. He needs to step down. Nancy Pelosi and the other guy who I really liked are already asking him to step down. Why would you do that to one of your own without proof beyond a reasonable doubt? Why won't you let this be investigated? And why did they go to CNN and not the police? Maybe there's more to the story, and I will apologize. But I want to make sure that it's all true. If what this attorney says, they were all reaching out to him, wanting this and that, we'll see. Were they all just drunk and partying? Was it definitely an assault, or was it mutual? Was it they all got drunk and they think he needed to take the upper hand and not have indulged? I don't know. But I want to throw on it, everybody, a lot of you guys are saying this is all very suspicious. Diana said, take a dive into Roger Stone. Oh, conehead. He's got the weirdest shaped head. A lot of people, Diane says she hopes it's not true, but we need to see the numbers. We need to see what happened. Yeah, Donna, she said the lady who accused Biden of assault, remember? And he was like, look like a deer. Of course, he looks like that all the time. A deer in the headlights. He said, who? Who was this woman? And it went from groping to a full assault, blah, blah, blah. And then her story kept changing. And then the next thing you know, she moved to Moscow. So she was paid. And let me tell you, you know who else is going to be in trouble? And we'll check him out. The governor. The governor there now. Because Trump hates Sawwell and he hates Governor Newsom. And they would love to bring him down. Here's the thing. He did have an affair with his best friend's wife before he was married to this wife. He did confess to it out loud to everyone and told his wife what he had done. He never did feel right about that. But it was an affair. It was a mutual affair. But look at them try to make that into something. In the meantime, you know, the Orange Crush used to sleep with wives and go downstairs and call the husband and say, I just slept with your wife. Yeah, and then why all these years? Why all of a sudden there's accusations? Why not when he was running for president? It's really weird. Roger Stone set up Como exactly like Sawwell. A number of girls came out of the woodwork in a timely fashion. Wow. But I did hear Como was a little bit of a player. Some of them guys are just players. And, you know, let's face it, you guys. Sawwell, he's like a boy off a turnip truck. I don't think he's that good looking. But, you know, who the hell am I to say? But he's, you know, he's from Fresno, you know. He probably fell off a turnip truck. But he probably has all these beautiful women making ploys at him. And, you know, he's a young man. He was, you know, he followed his, what my friend used to always say. These men following their manhood out the door. Well, where do we go now? Yeah, you guys, fight back. Don't let them take him down without a fight. Let's fight back. And by the way, the attorney just wrote again and said he's still running, so a guilty man doesn't keep running. If he knew everything was against him, he'd have stood down. And then apparently Congress is going to vote to make him quit or censure him or something. So they said if they're going to do that, this is the Republican side, let's vote on the Gonzalez guy, the one that caused the girl to do Harry Carey. And apparently he was assaulting someone else. Let's do him too. Let's just throw them all in a pile here. Al Franken, that's who it was. That was just so, I remember being so furious. And the same bloody thing, Roger Stone announces before it comes out. He tells the media, oh yeah, there's trouble coming for Al Franken. And he stepped down, and there was Democrats in the middle. That's why I've never liked that blonde woman. I can't remember her name. You really need, all with her social report card all up in the air. I said, no, I would not do anything for her. Okay, so you guys, let's take a look at Sawwell. Then we'll take a look at why Melania did that press conference. I think I answered that the other day, but let's take a look-see again. And then I'm going to do prayers probably about 2 o'clock. Angel of light and mercy. What will be the outcome of these allegations? Because you hate for these women to do this because they were paid or, they sold their soul. You hope they're really honest allegations. Or, was it something that they were all partying and they got involved and they feel comfortable saying something happened when it wasn't forced? I was telling Mel, if every guy, when I was drunk and we're fooling around at a bar or something and we end up kissing, had to go to jail, Jesus Christ. Tell me about what's going to happen with Sawwell. Give me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Okay, let's go, you guys. I don't trust that Katie gal either. I don't know why. There's pictures of her with the first gal that's filing, arm in arm, good buddies. The Seven of Pentacles, raking in the just rewards, a lot of conversation, laying down, waiting. Maybe he's sick over this. Let's see. The Angel of Light and Mercy is doing some sort of protection. We don't want it to ruin his career unless he did assault somebody. So there's a lot of back and forth. It's not 100% he's guilty. There's a lot of back and forth. New York is filing some report, but they don't have enough, you guys. They're digging. They're digging. Picking up the pieces and walking. He might walk away, you guys. He might walk away. I think they're even trying to get money from him for this. Oh, he's really shook up. He's really shook up. I think he's going to prove... Oh, somebody just wrote me, Orban concedes. I told you guys Victor Orban wouldn't win. Look at this. Women will actually come forward and apologize to him. And wishes come true. Okay. We'll talk to... Andre. Hold on. He's got evidence. He's got evidence, and it could be all that paperwork where they said, oh, we wish you the best. By the way, can I get a job referral? Can I get this? Can I get that? A lot of them hooked up with him after the alleged assault. He's going to be able to prove. Somebody just said beyond a reasonable doubt. It's not going to work. Someone just said that to me. But there's so much pressure that he may not, in fact, run for governor, but I don't see him leaving his congressional seat. But I'm almost feeling, being at the main female thing, comes in like they want some sort of justice for him. Like, because of this, we're going to do this. But I do feel justice is coming. That this was, I think he was a bad boy. Does that make sense? Bad boy. Shame on you. You're a congressman. Sure, you're nerdy. You wear Payless shoes. But nobody wants you to falter and go under. And you know, he was one of Trump's biggest enemies. He didn't have any problem telling Trump off. And we need people like that. But shame on Adam Schiff. Oh, just like with our President Biden, between Pelosi and Adam Schiff and all of them with their nose up in the air. I'm so sick. We got to get rid of all those. I used to love Adam Schiff, and I'm so disappointed in him. If Sawwell doesn't win, or ends up not running, I don't want Katie to win. I'd rather have Biara or somebody like that. Who will win as governor in the state of California in November? Is there a primary in June? And like everybody's saying, I know you can't. That's how Trump runs. He tit for tat. Well, Biden did this and so did this. Well, you know what? Trump is a felon. Boy, look at that light. That's not candlelight for Lulu. St. Michael. For my sweet baby. But she burned in the flame. She used to sit comfortably right over here. Then as soon as I was done, she was all over me like a cheap suit. Who will run for governor? You guys hold on one second. I just want to look to see what sign he is. He was born November 16th, so he's a Scorpio. He's a Scorpio. Scorpios follow their manhood out the door. But I don't see him as a type that would force anyone. But that's me. On all those Evil Lives Here shows that I love to watch, or Forensic Files, the guy always seemed to be such a nice guy. So you never know. Who's going to win as governor of California? I wanted to get his sign so in case it shows up. Well, it's got women all over the place here. Victory after burden. People are very happy about whoever it is. Jesus, I hope it's not that Katie gal. It's showing a woman. You don't think Camilla would put her throw her hat in? Right now, it's showing a female energy, so we'll see. Okay, let's just look real quick, you guys. What did Roger Stone, if anything, have to do with this? He announced before it even came out. Yeah, I'm getting all kinds of people saying, Orban lost. Yeah, he lost. And J.D. Vance and his couch couldn't stop it. I love it. I'll have to look at the numbers. I bet it was. They said that people were hacked. This is what's going to happen in November, everyone. Mark my words. What did Roger Stone have to do with it? He's like a snake behind the scenes, you know. Paying people. paying people. He's in cahoots with one of the women. It's not going to work. It's going to go up against him. He's trying to change the energy. So far, he's successful. I got this hit, and let me just throw it out to you guys, and we'll see if it's true. I felt one of these 4 women was going to turn around and say, I've been lying. I've been lying. I just want to tell you, I've been lying. I was offered this, and I needed the money or something. That's what I got. I saw somebody actually announcing, and all of this just flat out fall. But it's not showing him winning. Unless he has a lot of female energy around him. But Mel said he always thought Sawwell might be gay. I said, well, gay men think every man is gay. So anyway, here we go. Okay, so I wanted to ask that. Ooh, Susan said, I'm a criminologist, and I'm generally very suspicious about politicians. I have not intuitively believed any of the nefarious intentions with Sawwell. I hope it's not true, but who knows? That's true. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying show me the work. I mean, so far I haven't. They didn't file any kind of claims with well, New York's filing something, but that's because Trump told them, or the DOJ is in on it. Yeah, get them and get them hard. This has Roger Stone all over it. It needs to be investigated. But, you know, you didn't see any filings. You know, they always like to post the filings. So you guys want me to... okay, so I read Roger Stone. The allegations... listen, I think he was a bad boy. That's what I'm getting, but I don't see him assaulting anyone. That's my psychic opinion. Take it or leave it. Is it enough to say that people will just judge him and kick him out? Maybe, I don't know. But I do feel one person, maybe a day late and a dollar short, but I feel somebody will say, well, actually, because I feel like they're going to try to get money from him too, and it's not going to work. Okay, so let's look at Melania. This isn't going to be a real long video, you guys. What's going on with Melania? And then we'll look at the ceasefire or what's going on with Iran. Trump saying, oh, we're blocking it off so no one can use it. Let's see how long that lasts. God bless our sweet men and women over there. Okay. Yeah, JD Vance failed, and I can see Trump blaming him. Melania, let's take a look. Are you in trouble, girl? With I don't know Jeffrey Epstein. I was never a friend with Ghislaine, and they got arm and all kinds of pictures. They got her French kissing Epstein. She's glad with what she did. She doesn't have any doubt about it. She got some sort of help from the outside. She wants to protect her money, and she's worried about her child. She's heading to where she came from the past. She has a lover. She has somebody she's very into. I think she wants to get out of old diaper bags. You know, I never saw her going to jail, but I saw her escaping. Okay, you guys had some good questions here. The ceasefire. Or when they all got together and tried to come up with it's definitely political sabotage. I hate to say it, Katie Porter might win. I used to like her, but since I saw her with the main gal that filed against Sawwell, it smells bad. but maybe she'll win. Xavier Becerra, he's supposed to be pretty good. It's just all this. I'm getting a headache even thinking about it. Okay, let's look at Iran and the United States. Oh, God, my head is starting to hurt, and I feel like Trump is like going berserkos. He's mad. He's still talking about blowing Iran out of the universe, but he can't do that because you got North Korea said, especially if Israel dares do anything like that, they'll wipe them off the face of the earth. Orban losing. And then he said, oh yeah, J.D. Vance is with Orban. Orban is a very good guy. He's a good guy. Once Trump says someone's a good guy, you know they're worthless. Iran has some significant damage. They just keep hitting Israel. They are mad about Israel. They turned down, and here's some truth coming out. A light is upon it. Here's an actual agreement. And this is the card that's Trump because it's the Gemini card for me. You know what's so weird? He thought they'd come to a deal that they could share the $2 million they use to have ships go through. We could have a deal. Like they're supposed to give the United States half that. He's such like a bully. He steals your lunch money. He does not care. Oh my God, you guys, it's so pathetic. We will come to a deal. The cycle will change. So, up. Something will change, you guys. There's some sort of deal here. Oh, you know what I want to know? The pilots. They said they rescued, but not a word, not a picture, nothing. The families can't get a hold of them. They even filed something, some special type of thing, saying they deserve the right to know where their son is. Doesn't that tell you? Because Iran was posting on X and saying, we got him. And they showed a picture of him. We have him as a prisoner. I don't see them treating Americans as bad as they could, because I think they want to have a little, cushion. The gentleman that was in the cave, that hedgehog was all. Hedgehog's getting ready to go. Ooh, that might be the reason, Hedgehog, because I can see Trump all upset and mad at Hedgehog. And that's what we get for lying to everybody. And also, the death tolls are really high and they're not telling people. And he's going to blame it all on Hedgehog. I didn't know. Where is the man? He was hurt. He definitely was hurt. Iran won't even let him communicate because they're going to let Trump go down for this. Down the road here, 2 weeks, 2 months, he'll be able to communicate with his family. But he's in prison, you guys. And there's more stuff getting ready to happen. I think there'll be ships out there they're going to hit again. Because you know that person that wrote us and said that her son was on Tupelo and they couldn't get nothing to him because they won't accept any mail, nothing to them. They were sending, deodorant and shampoo and stuff. And they wouldn't let the men have their packages. And then they got hit twice. If you notice, we're not hearing anything. I heard it was damaged, but not down. And they were heading back to shore. So we'll see what happens. God bless them. God bless. Angel of Light and Mercy, please protect because they're going out there. They're stooges. Thank goodness a lot of the people in the military are saying no. If Trump says, I want you to attack the civilians in Iran, they won't do it. That's part of the reason he can't talk trash like he was doing, because Hedgehog finally had to tell him Hedgehog's trying to fire anybody that says, no, you don't have to follow those orders. But what I see is these young men are not, they're not going to do it. Okay. Somebody said, well, she means Sawwell. Will he eventually be honest about the entire situation in order to make moving forward? Eventually, how do you know he's not honest now? That's what I keep telling people. Show me the proof before you start telling me, well, yeah. I don't understand humans, because they all come to a conclusion that, oh, yeah, well, this is the way it is. It's just very suspicious, the timing. It just looks really bad. Oh, Sterling just said the allegations against Sawwell are not true, and that the woman felt betrayed is one of the reasons they're doing this. Interesting. You know, I had a girlfriend who's an actress who kind of stood up before Twitter belonged to Elon, when that Russian bot was making those claims against Biden. And she's like, you guys, we need to look at this. And all these women, famous women, were, oh, how dare you. It was during the Me Too movement. You need to take the woman's side. You need to believe her. And it was like, she got reamed for it. So she kind of came off and stood down. And then sure enough, they find out the woman was a plant. Yeah, if someone is purposely ruining someone else's life, they should be persecuted either way. And I say, nail them to the wall, because if they did this for money just to hurt him, he can turn around, not that they have any money, and sue them. I still see negotiation with Iran. This is going to last for a while, you guys, this war thing. But I see them really hitting Israel. They just want to take Israel off the face of the map. Ooh, Sterling says it's a setup. Yeah, someone just said, Jisoo said, I don't know too much about it, but I think it's odd that a young woman would put herself in that position twice and being drunk twice, because she admits she was drunk, and go to a hotel room twice. So she wasn't afraid of him? Listen, this smells. It smells, you guys. But will they be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt? I think one of the women is going to come forward and say, well, you know, I can't do this. I feel like I have to tell the truth. Fox News is starting to break with Trump. The Pope is safe. I saw nothing happening to the Pope. The MAGA Catholics are mad at the Pope. The Pope's fine, but they're looking out for him. They're taking care of him. Biden's health right now is okay, poor Biden. He's such a sweetheart. Amanda Ungaro, who was previously a partner to Paolo Zamboli, Trump's ambassador to France, has a lot of info on Melania. Let's see if she'll spill. Let's see if she'll spill. Let's see if she will spill. You know, you guys, sometimes I get a hit, and you know, sometimes I can be off, but I usually get that inside something, just like with Guthrie. I knew right away the mom was gone, knew right away, and then I got reamed for, you know, which is true. I shouldn't announce that right away because I could see her already passed over. But she was in heaven. But I'll know, I just know, like that young girl, Gabby. I didn't know who she was. I looked at her picture and I told all of you, oh, she's gone. And she told me the boyfriend did it. And she told me exactly how the boyfriend was going to pass. All within a couple of minutes. So with Sawwell, I'm feeling the same thing. I do like him. But boys will be boys. So I do know men have a tendency to follow their manhood out the door. We used to use the other name, if you know what I mean. And I just feel he was a bad boy. So he got caught, Like I said, he's a turnip off the turnip truck. He's got that Okie from Muskogee look. And some women were, he liked people fawning all over him. I was married to a Scorpio, and they love attention. They just don't like when you tell them to do the dishes. Okay, so here we go. Let's look what Amanda says. Ooh, she's got some truth. And Melania might duck and go undercover. I see they're trying to do something to her while they're trying to send people out to shut her up. She wants her son back. Bad move on Trump's part. Bad news, you guys. A lot of information coming up. They'll be hitting it away. And they're even going to try to sue her to shut her up, but they ain't going to be able to do nothing. She might hire someone to take care of that ex-husband of hers. I see France saying he's unbecoming as an ambassador and he needs to go. Okay. Yeah, if Sawwell's guilty, he'll have to pay the price. But again, the first lady that filed was with him drunk in a hotel room and turned around and went back with him several years later, drunk. So, hello. Trisha just wrote me. She said, okay, Eric Sawwell's lawyer was on CNN. Rumors have it that Trump paid the GOP candidate Steve Hilton $3,220 to fund 3 victims to come forward and accept the money. These 3 victims cannot name the address of where Sawwell lives in D.C. And Sawwell has never met them. Holy cow, you guys. Psst, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? Thank you, Trisha. The one victim is dicey at best because the bar they went to, she got drunk. I mean, really drunk, and he offered to put her in an Uber. She wanted to go home with him. I mean, kind of person gets drunk with a man and then goes back to his apartment. Then she comes back 4 years later to get drunk with him again. Something ain't right here. Michael Cohen said Trump knows he is outnumbered in California and hates Newsom. He said Trump felt threatened because he knows he may lose. California, so he created a scandal. This is the only way he can win. This is also about revenge since Sawwell was on his January 6th committee. Sawwell's poll numbers are still high. Yay! All the other candidates are polling low. Yeah, especially that guy that's a billionaire or whatever. All the other candidates are polling low. Here's the issue. Americans elected a convicted felon, insurrectionist, convicted rapist, and sex trafficker with Epstein. And the GOP and Senate refused to impeach him, and they set the bar for low moral values. Anything Sawwell did does not come near what Trump has done. There is corruption involved in Trump's money all over this. Bingo! Bingo, you guys. This is it. I'm going to post this on my community channel. And I'm going to have to get off because I got to get ready for Andre and for prayers. I love you all, you guys. Cheers.